Welcome to another episode of The Open Door. And I have a guest with us today, and her name is Layna Pimentel, and she's born and raised in Toronto, Ontario. Layna discovered her love of reading at an early age. She's a multi-published author of romantic fiction, budding educator, and entrepreneur. She lives in Northern Ontario with her husband and two daughters. So welcome to our show today. And I would love for you to tell us about your latest project. I know that you have a lot of projects on the go. So wherever you want to start, and let us know what it is that you're up to.
Well, thank you for having me. Wow, where do I start? We'll start off with books. I am working on putting together a crowdfunding campaign for an urban fantasy series that I started writing in 2010. It's a hot mess, but the first 4 books are all written, and the whole point of the crowdfunding campaign is to put together a very special limited edition to the sponsors of the campaign, from which the copy that they get will not be what goes on Amazon after. So,
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I want to make it worthwhile for readers, right? There's going to be, if I had to like compare it to anything, which you can't compare anybody to, like the Kelly Armstrongs or the Sherry Lynn Kenyons, and authors of that category. It's kind of a mix up of all of that with a bit of mythology, demon hunting, touch of romance, because I have to write that in. I can't not write about romance. Yeah, I'm sure you get that too, right?
Yeah, even when I started a new genre too, and it's just, it wants to be in there. So it's like, oh, okay, we'll see what happens. But
exactly, we'll see where the characters want to go, and you can start with a perfect outline, and then it's like it veers off course, and it's like it's the whole point of being an organized, plotter.
Yeah.
When you guys decide you're going to do something else. So I'm working on that. I'm also working on a proposal for a historical romance. I started back in 2012. All these little tiny projects are creeping up now. They need to be done. Yeah. That'll be my first full-length historical romance novel.
Excellent.
Regency era, of course, because I love that period. And I'm working on a small little novella that's got a very fairy tale twist to it. You remember a couple of years ago when all the small presses were looking for fairy tale spins? Well, this was one of those manuscripts that kind of got like rejected 10 times, and I kind of shoved it off to the side, and it's like, but I'm still thinking about you, so maybe it's time I just put you out myself. So that's what I have on the go.
Yeah, well, and that's great, because a lot of times with books, like, we may get them as authors rejected from different places. And I was actually watching a live Q&A with a director the other day. Just, it popped up in my Facebook feed, and one of the pieces of advice she gave was that even if you have a project that keeps getting rejected and rejected and rejected, it's like, find a way to make it. There's so much with our own technology, and in the author world, it's so much easier to self-publish now, that if you still feel like this is a good project that you want to work on, there's so many avenues for you to do that. So I'm glad that you're not giving up on it.
No, and I think that was part of the reason with the urban fantasy series that I just talked about. I've wanted to give up on it so many times, because it's like no publisher is going to take this on, because how do you market this? But there's a market for it. It may not be like hundreds of thousands of readers. Well, I think that, but I'm sure there is more than that. But it's also something I could turn into a screenplay, which is kind of something I've been dabbling in. I've got books all over the place on it, right? So, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Somebody say no to the screenplay? Well, fine. Then I'll find a way to do it myself, or hang on to it for as long as possible. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of independent movie makers out there and filmmakers. So, there's always those options too. It's just meeting the right people that want to work on it. And there's all kinds of things. I know there's a lot of short film festivals and things like that. So, good luck. I hope that, yeah, sounds like you have a lot on the go there with
That's
writing.
just book wise too,
Book,
right?
book
Because
life. Yeah.
there's other stuff going on. I've been working on my bath and body businesses, and for the last 5 years, rebranding my two businesses, and we just launched my husband's Northern Workshop website a year ago. Uh, he's been woodworking as a stress relief, and it was like, you know what? You could sell this stuff. Looks really great. So for the last year, I've been working with him on bringing his stuff to market. So yeah, a lot of this last couple of months has been really focused on e-commerce and how to get yourself in front of everyone when everybody's in the same space competing since this global pandemic kicked off. So been working on that.
Well, I think that's fantastic that I want to go back to a little bit about your bath and body works. I want you to tell me a little bit more about that because I know I've seen pictures on Instagram that are so cool. I think around Halloween you did a lot of Halloween themed like bath
Oh
bombs.
yeah.
So tell me about the products. Like what products do you make and where do you sell them?
So I have two of them because there was just no way to keep my luxury stuff lumped in with my gothic horror theme stuff because they're two different customer bases, right?
Yeah.
So we'll start off with Canela Bath and Body. That's the oldest one that I have. It's I'm in the process of rebranding that to go more luxury. Like right now, I have a skincare line that I kind of put together, kind of worked for me. It all started because I have sensitive skin, and even going to the drugstore or wherever to get all the, sensitive skin stuff and cosmetics that are supposed to be like great for sensitive skin, I'm still super sensitive, right? So that's how that all that started. So right now I've got a serum. I've got two other serums I'm developing right now on my own. Um, Milk bath. I do bath bombs. I do bubble bars. Well, I can't call them bubble bars because that's, coined by someone else.
Okay.
So you know how it goes, like with
Yeah,
copyright
yeah,
infringement and everything.
yeah.
So that's what Canella does. And my Sinister Apothecary, which is my gothic and horror themed line of products, is for the time being bath bombs and candles with profane sayings,
Yeah.
vulgar language.
Oh, okay.
It's kind it's kind of, there's an F2020 candle over there right now,
Yeah.
and you could pick and choose what phrase you want on there. I won't go into the phrases to
Yeah.
keep it like family friendly here. So
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. Yeah.
yeah,
And so
so
where do you sell them again? Sorry if you already said that. Just to
Canela
repeat.
Bath and Body
Yeah.
.com
Okay.
and sinisterapothecary.com,
Nice.
and they're all SSL secure. So if you make purchases, your information is going to stay safe. But I also do have my Canela Bath and Body on Etsy, so you could just type in Canela Bath and Body, and what I have there on there right now is up there.